Hey, what's up, everybody? Here it's Timothy with Mana Rocks. We are doing another Guilds of Ravnica draft, starting off with one of the same rares. I think it was the first video I posted from this set where I started off with Camaraderie, and I'm not going to pass it again. With that being said, there's only a couple other cards in this pack I would even consider first picking. Goblin Crater Maker's pretty good, and Deadly Visit I wouldn't mind starting out with. There's some cards I like. Notion Rain, Piston Fist, Cyclops. I guess that's it, really. Those are cards that I like, but I prefer to be in those colors before I go snatch them up. Camaraderie is just great, and I really like opening Selesnya rares that are good because Selesnya is always open, or almost always open. Plus, this is splashable, and who knows? The good Dimir deck's open. I don't mind putting Camaraderie over here in the sideboard and just um, picking up what's open. Wow, this is a really terrible pack. This pack sucks. There's like Hellkite, Whelp, Glowspore Shaman. I guess Darkblade Agent's pretty good. Locksmith. There's like a Goblin deck here. Look at this. There is not a really good card. I could take Selesnya Locket, but I'm not tying myself to Selesnya right away. So maybe Hellkite Whelp or Darkblade Agent, and just set myself up to go different routes. I really don't like Firemind's Research. I like to wheel this card when you're in Izzet, because a lot of my Izzet decks are very spell heavy, and I think it's good there, but it's not something I'm happy to first pick. And it looks like a common was taken out of this pack, which makes sense. I'm just going to probably take like this Darkblade Agent and then have two different routes I can go. I could see maybe the Firemind's Research, but if I'm taking like Blade Instructor or Selesnya Locket, I don't really like that as a second pick. All right, and this is a good sign. Sinister Sabotage and Thought Erasure go very nicely with this Darkblade Agent. There's not really a great card to go with my Selesnya first picked. I'd be taking like 10th District Guide or Pax Favor. Maybe Boros Guildgate, probably not. I haven't actually played with Thought Erasure. It's good, but I think Sinister Sabotage is just a little bit better if you end up Dimir, because Dimir does want to play the control game, and Thought Erasure is fine, but I like Sinister Sabotage quite a bit, so I'm going to go and take that. Maybe Thought Erasure's better there. Ooh, Indrik. Alright, and then we get past a pack that has like almost no Dimir stuff, minus this Dimir Informant, which is fine. So it looks like we're going to be one of those back and forth waffly kind of drafts. It could just be the pack distribution too. Like, you can tell this pack is very heavy on Selesnya cards. There's a couple Golgari cards here that are playable. I'm going to take Affectionate Indrik. There's just nothing to go with these two picks. And Affectionate Indrik is very good in either Selesnya or Boros. Or not Boros, but Golgari. So we'll go ahead and take this. Not really passed on anything I'm too sad to pass on. And we'll just continue to keep an eye open for what is open, even though it's being a little bit waffly here. There's a Goblin Banneret, the one color I haven't drafted yet. Not really a Dimir card that I'm excited about. So, possible Selesnya cards, Hitchclaw Recluse, Gateway Plaza, Crushing Canopy. Fifth pick in a sideboard card. I'm probably just going to take this stupid Plaza here. These are not clear signals as to what is open. There's nothing here that shouts out, like none of these gold cards shout that something's open. Piston Fist is the only like Izzet card that I've really seen besides Goblin Electromancer that's worthwhile, and then Goblin Banneret. It's just like this hyper aggro card that doesn't fit with what we've already taken, so I'm just going to take a Mana Fixer. Beam Splitter Mage, again, just not even like an impressive Izzet card. Street Right's so bad. There's a Deadweight here. That's kind of a sign. Yeah, Deadweight, Selesnya Guildgate, Generous Stray. I like Mephitic Vapors, but as a sideboard card, and Beam Splitter Mage is not really a sign that Izzet's open. This card only works with like 2 or 3 spells in the format. Alright, Deadweight it is. We are waffling super hard, but I think that's what the packs are showing us. Whisper Agent and Thoughtbound Phantasm. This is a 7th pick Thoughtbound Phantasm, so let's assume this doesn't work out. We take the Phantasm, we end up in Dimir, passing this Whisper Agent, which I really like alongside. And we open up the possibility of splashing green and being Golgari Dimir, or splashing red and being Izzet Dimir, which means Affectionate Indrik could find its way into this sort of deck. I would love Whisper Agent, but I think Thoughtbound Phantasm is a little bit better as far as building around it goes. There's Selective Snare out of this pack, Dazzling Lights, and Hired Poisoner. I think those are all defensible picks here. Dazzling Lights is a little bit better now that I have the Thoughtbound Phantasm and the Darkbite Agent. Selective Snare is a card that I've seen be good, but normally is just fine. Like, I don't think this card's ever that busted, but it could be. And Hired Poisoner is nice. I don't love Dazzling Lights, but I'm going to take it since I have 2 payoffs for doing the whole, what is this thing called? Surveil thing. The distribution of these packs has been very confusing. I'm going to take I guess a Selesnya Guildgate, or an Izzet Locket. I don't really want Cosmotronic Wave here. I'll just take a Guildgate. Alright, some pretty bad cards altogether. I'll take a Locket here over, like, Maximize Altitude. Yeah. These packs have not been very telling, to be honest. But Passwall Adept, Bartizan Bats. I have noticed when I'm playing the control decks, both Izzet and Dimir, that sometimes I'm light on win conditions. I only have a small number of creatures, so things like this that can fill in and actually deal damage to the opponent seem pretty useful. Yeah, Molder Hulk's a card I like more than most people, but can we just mulligan this draft? Look, 3 gold cards coming back. None of them are great. Yeah, this first pack has been complete garbage. Not complete garbage, but I mean, this would be nice if we were like 6 picks into the draft, but that was the whole pack. We came away with like 6 playables, nothing super insane. A removal spell, a card that cares about surveilling, and 2 surveil cards. I mean, we passed a Whisper Agent, but that was in the same back as Thoughtbound Phantasm. The pack distribution was just odd there. There was a pack full of Selesnya cards, then a pack full of Dimir cards, and then just a bunch of garbage, so excuse me, I don't feel too bad about it. Not much I can do there. Maybe taking like the Piston Fist Cyclopes and the Goblin Electromancer and the Beam Splitter Mage would have sent us down a decent route, because there was a Maximize Altitude, Maximize Velocity, and you can play aggro Izzet. This pack, I think this is easy disinformation campaign. I wouldn't mind wheeling a Mephitic Vapors here. Moodmark Painter's bad. Unmoored Ego is unplayable. Pilfer Nymph's not even that good. People like this card for some reason. It's a Golgari card, almost certainly. I don't even think I'd play it in Dimir unless I was really short on playables. There's a Locket and a Leapfrog here, but Disinformation Campaign can be busted, and it's another card that pays us off for Surveil. So right now we have 2 Surveil cards, one of which is pretty mediocre, and 3 payoffs for Surveil. And we don't need Gateway Plaza at the moment. Oh wow, this pack is insane. Chemist's Insight, Whisper and Snitch, Artful Takedown. Also, Unexplained Disappearance, Mephitic Vapors. So I feel like we're going to get something back from this pack. Whisper and Snitch is another card that pays you off for Surveilling, although this one's not as incredible as the rest. Chemist's Insight is just good card advantage, although I might want the Artful Takedown. The thing is, if you can get going with Disinformation Campaign and you have a bunch of Surveil cards, like, you already get a decent amount of card advantage that you don't need raw card advantage, like Chemist's Insight, although I would happily play a Chemist's Insight. I think you want to definitely play the control game here. So even though Artful Takedown isn't, like, insanely synergistic with our deck, it's just a absolutely great removal spell. This card is fantastic against Boros. Probably one of the best commons, if not the best common in the set. I don't know where people are laying on that. Or best common removal spell in the set, if you can support it. I'm going to take Takedown. And follow up with, alright, some good picks. So Dimir flowing in this direction. I like it. I don't like Rampage and Monument unless I'm going to be aggro. So Boros, Selesnya, Golgari are decks where I like Rampage and Monument. Sinister Sabotage, Watcher in the Mist, Whisper Agent are all good. I'm going to take Watcher in the Mist because, like I already mentioned, you do end up light on win conditions in these decks. Watcher in the Mist is an upgrade to Bartizan Bats, as far as I'm concerned, and it also gets us back our Disinformation Campaign, puts counter on this, all that same stuff, right? I wouldn't mind Whisper Agent or Sinister Sabotage. Hopefully we wheel some of these. There aren't too many people in Dimir. If there are a lot of people in Dimir, which it doesn't feel like there are, I'm going to have a really bad pack 3, and I'm going to be scrambling to put together a deck here. But I like where I'm at. I just wish pack 1 had given me a few more playables because it makes me nervous. 9 playables this far into pack 2 is not great. I don't want to end up having to splash like a Molder Hulk or play a Gateway Plaza. That doesn't even up my count, right? 1,000-Year Storm, huh? Well, we're not going to play that, although it does seem like it could be kind of sweet, right? This is the one that gives all of your instants of sorceries Storm, essentially. There's another Artful Takedown and a Darkblade Agent. I think either of those would be defensible picks, but I think I'm just going to go with Artful Takedown. 4 creatures. It's pretty light, right? Just want to control the board, hope your opponent doesn't have a hexproof creature, and I could even play Pitiless Gorgon here. Yeah, I'm just going to take another removal spell. Ooh, Dimir Spybug's great. Good sign for this pack. Although this does not bode well for pack 3. There have been a lot of street riots in this draft, too. This card is so out of place in this format. Like, what deck wants this? Boros doesn't want a 5-mana enchantment. Izzet doesn't need this. Like, what is this here for? Hypothesis would be nice splash. Golgari Guildgate would be helpful, I guess. I would consider Child of Night, Bardisan Bats, but Dimir Spybug is exactly on theme. Gives us a 2-drop as well, which we don't actually have any of. Follow that up with another Piston Fist. We're going to be a defensive deck, so I don't like Piston Fist as much as I would in Izzet. Lotleth Giant not looking great given our creature count, so I think that leaves us with Burglar Rat and Unexplained Disappearance. I think I'm going to go Disappearance here because I have the 3 cards that care about surveilling. And this gets better if I have Whisper and Snitch too. Burglar Rat is fine, but I think that's fine. Alright, here I'll take a Burglar Rat or a Dimir Informant. I do like Dimir Informant quite a bit, and it does surveil. Burglar Rat is a little bit, just on average, I think better than Dimir Informant, but it's not like Burglar Rat's insane, right? So I think I'm going to take Dimir Informant. Give me the surveil defensive card. Alright, nothing in this pack for us, basically, at all, so Vicious Rumors is just wholly not a card, as far as I'm concerned. Golgari Raiders is bad, especially for us, so I don't see Boros Guildgate being useful, so Crushing Canopy it is. Alright, got a couple things back here. I think it's the next pack that has the Whispering Agent we're hoping to get back. So we can rule this one down to Mephitic Vapors, Mood Mark Painter. I think it's just easily Vapors. My deck doesn't need a Locket, because right now I'm curving out at 5, and Mood Mark is just not a card that we want for this deck. We are going to need to find 1 or 2 more win cons here. I'll mainboard Mephitic Vapors if things don't go too well. Alright, so Whisper and Snitch did not come back. We got another Vapors, another Unexplained Disappearance, and a Wishcoin Crab. Just take the bounce spell. Veiled Shade is fine. I've had this card be good before. It's not really the win con you're looking for, but it can be a way to dump a bunch of mana and hit your opponent if you can control the board, so I guess I'm not too disappointed about the Veiled Shade. I would say this is pretty mediocre so far, but we are set up for pack 3 pretty nicely if things go well. Someone took Whisper and Snitch, though, which means, you know, I'm not the only Dimir drafter at the table, and can't imagine pack 3 is going to go too well for us. We do have double Artful Takedown, though. We could use a really good rare out of pack 3 and just a couple other cards to fill things in here. 16 playables and not really a lot in the sideboard that we can even play. Crow Swarm or Leapfrog. Again, Leapfrog's just going to be a vanilla 3-1. I don't think I can speculatively take a gate, so I'll take the 4-power flyer, even though I don't like it. Child of Night's a playable. And I guess Lotleth Giant, if we really need to fill in slots here, I can play a Lotleth Giant. This card is pretty unimpressive in our deck. It's also a 7-mana creature, but it is a 6/5, so at least it gives you a body. Yeah. And yeah, Dazzling Lights. I'm hoping not to play 2 of these, but it's fine. Alright, we've got a Watery Grave for Fixin', if we wanted to take that. It's also worth some tickets, but Darkblade Agent, I think, is what I've got to take. I need to make playables. I really only need 3 more playables before I have an actual deck here, but I have no Guild Gates either, which is notable, but I'm also not splashing anything, so yeah, Darkblade Agents makes the Dazzling Lights better too if I end up playing those. But again, I think I might have 2 or 3 chances to get good picks out of this pack, and then it feels like Dimir might dry up given how the first couple packs went. Whisper Agent, stuff like that would be nice. Another Spy Bug or something. Crow Harpooner. Oh, here's a card worth splashing. Status Statue, although I don't have I have a Gateway Plaza, and that's it. Outside of that, I could take Devious Cover-Up, which is a card I actually like quite a bit. So do I take the Possible Hard Removal spell? I can cast the first half without too much trouble. Or do I just take the counter spell? I think I'm going to take the counter spell here, which sucks because Statue is really good. And the rare was taken out of this pack, so no signal there yet. Yeah, I like Devious Cover-Up. Alright, here's a Snitch, here's another Artful Takedown, and a Dimir Guildgate. Artful Takedown's very good, like, I'm tempted to take it. 1, 2, I don't have, like, I might not be playing Mephitic Vapors. I have Deadweight as well. I've got a decent amount of, like, interaction here. I would love a Night Veil Sprite. That would be amazing. How many actual Surveil cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to take an Artful Takedown. I would love a Snitch, but not in the same pack. Alright, 4 Artful Takedowns. Ooh, Quasi-Duplicate, huh? Alright, never mind. We might get a lot of Dimir cards. House Guild Mage. This pack's great. Artful Takedown number 4. I think I need things to do other than just kill my opponent's creatures, so I'm going to take either Quasi-Duplicate or House Guild Mage. Duplicate is okay with some number of creatures here. Like, it's obviously good with the top-end creatures, but how good is it with the low-end creatures is what I really want to know. I might just take the House Guild Mage. This card is good, though. We're going to wheel, like, a Muse Drake or a Devious Cover-Up out of this pack. Golgari Guildgate. Tempted to just take Quasi-Duplicate. No, I'll take the House Guild Mage. Like, Quasi-Duplicate's great. Ooh, on Mordigo number 2. Take your other 4 swamps. Barrier of Bone? Barrier of Bone is so bad. Like, really bad in my opinion. But Veiled Shade number 2 is not doing a lot for me. I mean, if Barrier of Bones gets to rebuy Disinformation Campaign, then it can't be that bad. But in most situations, I can also discard it to the Crow Swarm. Ugh, I don't like it. Alright, I like this. Okay, maybe I am the only Dimir drafter at the table. Thought Erasure. There's Dimir Informant. I don't want Spinal Centipede, and I don't really want the third bounce spell, so yeah, I'll take Thought Erasure here. Devious Cover-Up. We could do the double Devious Cover-Up loop here. It keeps your card quality really high, exiles your opponent's cards. Necrotic Wound would be, I guess, okay after a bunch of Artful Takedowns. The problem with this is it's a 1-mana removal spell that you can't really cast on the first 3 to 4 turns of the game. Dimir Lockets, whatever. Take a Devious Cover-Up. Alright, Guildgate here over Piston Fist or Wishcoin Crab. I do like having at least one Guildgate. That's nice. Leapfrog, not looking to play. I have, what, 1 Mephitic Vapors? Yeah, Leapfrog's just not great for us. We could take Wishcoin Crab, but that's not great either, so... Alright, Dowser of Light's a playable. I think I'm going to get this Lotleth Giant out of here. Yeah, we... none of the amazing cards came back, but Muse Drake's fine. Take a rare for the board. Creep and Chill. We do have a lot of Surveil, but Creep and Chill is just not really a card, right? I guess it's kind of cool with Devious Cover-Up. What'd they give me? Spinal Centipede? That could be playable. It's better than Leapfrog at the very least. No huge rares and not a lot of game finishers, but I think these 5-drops are fine. Almost makes me want to take out Bartisan Bat, or I could just take out Crow Swarm. I don't love that card. So we ended up with playables. Right off the bat, I'm going to ditch one of the Dazzling Lights. Spybug, House, Child of Night. I'm going to leave Mephitic Vapors in the sideboard until I know that it's good. If I'm playing against like another Dimir deck, this just isn't going to be effective, and 3-mana just to Surveil is not really where I want to be. I'll keep Veiled Shade in, I think, but I might cut Spinal Centipede, and then we need to cut some 4s. I like all the Artful Takedowns and the Devious Cover-Ups. I'm going to cut Bartisan Bats, I think. Barrier of Bones pretty bad. Cut one of the 5s. Dowser of Lights is actually a pretty decent card. Crow Swarm. I want one more flyer, right? I could see cutting Crow Swarm and just playing Partisan Bats. This card's not significantly better, although, yeah, it has the activated ability to come back. Alright, if I cut Barrier Bones, what does that leave me with for Surveil? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Surveil cards? That's not amazing. Oh, 8 with the Watcher. It's not amazing, but it's decent. 8's fine. 8 is fine, and I don't like Barrier of Bones very much. There's some decks that can just attack through that. It's not even a good wall. And, tempted to get rid of Kraut Swarm, but then I'm really light on ways to close out a game. Maybe Child of Night goes away here. Just no defense for the early game. Maybe Veiled Shade. Maybe Muse Drake. Muse Drake's kind of subpar. Again, raw card advantage isn't too great when you already have a bunch of Surveil that can help you dig past things. Like drawing a land with Muse Drake when you don't need a land is not that different than playing a Surveil card and pitching that land to the graveyard. So I think this is what I'm going to play. I'm going to have to really dig off the back of these Artful Takedowns, I think. I'm going to be majority blue. It doesn't matter. We're going to probably play 8 and 8 here because we do have just a million blue-black cards. You can see 9-7 or something like that. 9 blue, 7 black. But now we have so much blue-black that it's probably just right to play 8 and 8. They are suggesting 9-7. I could play Gateway Plaza. I'm not splashing anything. Could see splashing this Affectionate Indrik. If I had one other Guildgate other than just Gateway Plaza, I would consider it. But I don't know how much faith I have in this deck right now, but if we get certain curve outs, if we get our disinformation campaign, we're going to do all right. I think just pack 1 went so poorly that we missed out on a couple playables for this potential deck. Even like Whispering Agents would be good, but just a couple more cards to make it tick. Night Veil Sprite or something like that. We passed up on both Whisper and Snitches, which would have been good. But anyway, we're going to roll with what we have here, playing Dimir. We'll see if we can get there with our removal spells and counter spells. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the matches. Okay, we're here for round 1. I chose to take the play. I think against a similar deck as mine, I would take a draw instead. I'm going to keep this. Dimir Informant and Sinister Sabotage to back things up is okay. Plus we have an Artful Takedown and a counter spell. Ideally, I'd like to use Takedown before Devious Cover Up so you can just shuffle it back. Yeah, against Dimir. Alright, nothing to play on turn 2, so I'll just Guildgate and pass. Alright, let's see. You got a Snitch? No. Ooh, Drown Secrets. Well, I'm not sure how likely I am to beat that card. This is the perfect matchup for it. Man, if my opponent was playing against a Boros deck, they'd be in so much trouble. So every time they cast a blue spell, they mill me. That's going to be problematic. Probably just have a bunch of bounce spells and stuff like that in their deck. Oh, Piston Fist. Okay. Alright. So probably play Dimir Informant, attack for 2. Dimir Informant helped me find my 5th land, although my cards are going to get milled, so Surveilling doesn't help too much here. I don't care if my opponent attacks me with this Piston Fist. The alternative would be just playing Artful Takedown. But I think I'm going to need to race this Drown Secret, so getting this Spybug up there seems like it's going to be nice. I'm going to Surveil as if my opponent doesn't have a blue spell, but they're probably going to mill these 2 cards anyway, so I'm just going to keep them on top. I guess Crow Swarm's not even that bad for them to mill. This card is perfect for the Dimir Mirror. Kind of need this Spybug to live, right? So if I get to untap, I would definitely play Watcher first, but if I don't draw a land, I would just sit behind counter spells here. Hope my Spybug is big enough to win the game. Alright, radical idea. Yep, there goes my surveil card, one of which is Crowd Swarm. Could give me a potential way to win this game later on. Opponent's stuck on a land, though. So maybe we can outpace him here. Land off the top would be pretty sweet. Oh, no dead weight, please. No dead weight. Also, if the opponent's stuck on 3 lands, that's good news for me. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? I should ask him that. A 1, a 2, 3. No, they did have land. They're just slow rolling me. Okay, well, Devious Cover-Up does combat this Drowned Secrets really nicely. So we're just gonna jam here. We'll see if there's something I need to Devious Cover-Up. I assume they're gonna Radical Idea on their end step. And I'm not gonna deal or do anything about that. It's possible. I mean, they must have other spells in their hand. Otherwise, you would probably keep that in your hand till your next turn, right? You have to discard a creature for this? Yeah, I'm just never discarding any of my creatures for Crow Swarm. Here's to hoping they just go like Deadly Visit or something. Then I can shuffle back Crow Swarm, Unexplained Disappearance, Artful Takedown. Basically, each of these Devious Cover-Ups helps me combat this Drowned Secrets by like 2 spells. I'd probably even shuffle back a Swamp. 1 more card in my library. Chemister's Insight. Sure, you can cast that. So if that's the case, I'm going to Artful take down this Piston Fifth Cyclops just so that they're not racing me on damage end cards, right? We'll do both. Sorry if you can hear the people mowing the lawn outside, but they got the job to do. Still hoping no deadweight here, so I can play this Watcher potentially. Dazzling Lights. Don't love it, but still in a pretty strong position, I think, here. If at any point they give me a chance to counter a spell, I'm going to use, I think, Sinister Sabotage first. Oh, they're going to Dazzling Lights? Okay. I mean, they take 1 less damage. A lot of wheel spinning going on. Yeah, I'm not going to Sinister Sabotage that. I'm hoping my opponent just replays Chemister's Insight or, like, uses a 5-mana kill spell of some sort so I can Sinister Sabotage, grow this, and then use Devious Cover-Up to get the Sabotage and some other cards back. The second Devious Cover-Up will get the first Devious Cover-Up and some other spells back. Altogether, shuffling 8 cards back into my library, so 4 more spells my opponent's going to have to cast. I can't just loop it forever, though, because at some point Drowned Secrets will mill one of the Devious Cover-Ups. My opponent milled a Barrier of Bones with their Surveil, but kept the other card on top. Alright, just cast City Watch Sphinx. No, thank you. So, let's let Drowned Secrets resolve. So we have more choice. Oh, no, we're just going to Sinister Sabotage this. Yeah, we're not going to Devious Cover-Up. House Guild Mage can go on top. I'm not about milling myself here much more than I need to. Alright, now we have 4 damage a turn. And Devious Cover-Up for days. If they cast Chemister's Insight, I'm going to let that resolve. Might cast Dazzling Lights just to... Oh, 5, yep. See if they have a Disdainful Stroke. That would be pretty bad. So let's shuffle back. Sinister Sabotage. Unexplained Disappearance. 1 Artful Takedown, and... just the other Unexplained Disappearance, I suppose. Yeah, Disdainful Stroke would get us pretty good here. But if they don't have it, then this is a pretty good turn. Yes. Now if I draw a 5th land, I'm just going to hold up Devious Cover Up. If I Dazzle in Lights... Oh, they got another one? Okay. Opponent is definitely spinning the wheels. Jesus. Problem with Dazzling Lights is, yeah, it mills us 2 and it saves them some damage, but that's just a card out of their hand. I would rather use that to flashback Chemister's Insight. Alright, opponent's on 3 turn clock. 2 turn clock, actually, by Dazzling Lights. If they play any creature that just doesn't interact with us, I'm probably going to let it resolve. If they play basically anything that does interact with us, or if they go Chemister's Insight, I'm probably going to Devious Cover Up that. They surveilled Island to the graveyard and kept the other one on top. Dimirrors, it's fine. That draws them more cards, I suppose. I don't want to run into a Price of Fame here if I just cast Dazzling Lights and don't have Devious Cover Up, so I'm just going to untap. Would like to hit a 5th land here. Artful Takedown on my upkeep. Oh, they do have Price of Fame, so I'm glad I didn't do that. Alright, opponent's deck has some good cards, so let's shuffle back that. I'll keep Crawl Swarm in the graveyard, Artful Takedown, and what is this? Island? Sure, let's shuffle a Swamp back. Opponent is making me tap out here. Why me? You're playing a mill deck. Alright, they weren't dead there. So against the mill thing, let's see if we have anything that combats that. Not really, I don't think. But we should probably bring in a few more threats, right? Things like Leapfrog, just ways to deal damage to them. Unmoored Ego, this is the type of match where I could strongly consider bringing in Unmoored Ego, because I don't think I'm going to lose to a pile of Dazzling Lights and stuff. But I could lose to a Drowned Secrets. So Unmoored Ego, the problem is that this is 3, and Dazzling Lights, or Drowned Secrets is 2, so they could just get it down turn earlier. Spinal Centipede, Bartizan Bats, these are cards that I'm interested in here. I'm less interested in some of the dirtily removal spells and whatnot, so I think I might cut 1 Artful Takedown. And they do have a City Watch Sphinx, at least, so we gotta watch out for that. Child of Night, Dazzling Light seems pretty bad against them, but still probably decent. Maybe I don't need, like, all of these creatures coming in. Yeah, let's cut, like, Leapfrog, I suppose. And then what else did I bring in? Bartizan Bat, Spinal Centipede. What was the other card I just brought in? I don't remember. I do like the Bartizan Bats here. Child of Night, I think, was the other card. Alright, yeah, just bring in 2 creatures here, and the life gain's not going to matter. Yeah, alright, let's do that. See if the opponent can turn to Drowned Secrets us again. Ooh, Disinformation Campaign I like a lot, plus Thought Erasure. And if they board into like some creature strategy, I've got this Deadweight. Ooh, is it Guildgate suggests that Cyclopes is not their only red card. Nice. So let's lead off with Swamp. Hope that they don't have a Thought Erasure of their own. Play probably Dimir Spybug on turn 2. That way I can get Disinformation Campaign down and Thought Erasure a turn after that. Because I don't necessarily need to Thought Erasure them right now. They didn't play turn 2 Drowned Secrets, so I'm not worried about having to take that out of their hand. They probably would have played it. Could be running into a Sinister Sabotage here. Could Thought Erasure first. Let's just see if they have the counterspell before I attack. They don't have a counterspell. Could have a Whisper Agent. Alright, discarding an island. And we'll get in for 1. No Whisper Agent either. They just have an expensive hand or they're flooding super hard. Wishcoin Crab. Okay, that's not even particularly good against us. So here, I think I'm going to Thought Erasure plus hold up Unexplained Disappearance. Let's do this first. Yeah. This lets me get my Disinformation campaign back. It grows my Spybug to a 2/2. Mnemonic Betrayal. Command the Storm, City Watch Sphinx. So Command the Storm, taking out Spybug. Mnemonic Betrayal lets them cast a bunch of cards from my graveyard at some point. Do I have answers for these cards? Because if they cast Command the Storm and 1-for-1 me, that's not too bad. Disinformation campaign's going to get them eventually, right? I think I'm going to take Mnemonic Betrayal just because if they, like, Mnemonic Betrayal Thought Erasure me, that's not great. I don't care if they just 1-for-1 me here. Tempting to take the City Watch Sphinx. Yeah. That just has the most potential later on. Put that in the graveyard. Do all this nonsense. They're probably going to Command the Storm this Spybug, so that's fine. City Watch Sphinx, I have a bounce spell for it at the very least. They go land, Command the Storm, they're going to have to discard either their Sphinx or whatever they played this turn anyway. What? Yeah, Command the Storm right away. So if they have a land Sphinx in hand, that's not actually that bad because Unexplained Disappearance will get it. So let's go Disinformation campaign, see whether they discard a Sphinx or another card. Piston Fist. Okay, so they need to top deck a land for that to even matter. And we have an Artful Takedown to take out the stupid Sphinx now, even if they do untap play land. And Veiled Shade looking like it's going to be good this game. I'll take my crab beats for now. If they don't play anything, they probably drew a removal spell. Tempted to Unexplained Disappearance, Disinfo? Nah. Ooh, Devious Cover-Up's nice. Gonna play Veiled Shade here. Nice, yeah. Oh, they drew a Chemister's Insight. That's actually pretty good for them. It's actually really good. Kind of wish I'd kept up Devious Cover-Up for that. They just play Sphinx. I'm going to Artful Takedown, tap Wish Coin, kill Sphinx. Again, I'd rather have pretty high quality of cards in my graveyard before I cast Devious Cover-Up. Just shuffle more cards back. I'll still take my beats here. If this becomes an actual problem, which it could, I'll just deadweight it. It'll be 0 power. Looks like they might not have a land. They're not slamming the Sphinx. Or they could be playing around Sinister Sabotage, which they know about. Another Wishcoin Crab. Sure. Wishcoin it up. They did have the 6 land, so they are playing around Sinister Sabotage. It's not necessarily a bad thing to do. Let's slap one of these bad boys with one of those bad boys. And pass? I can afford to pump once off the Veiled Shade, just so I don't take damage this turn. And then if they don't do anything, I can Artful Takedown to take out one of the Wishcoin Crabs. Alternatively, I just have Devious Cover-Up. Yeah, Mnemonic Betrayal would have been really good this game. Like, even right now, they could play Dimir Spybug, Thought Erasure out of my graveyard. Really? Sure, I'll play that game. Alright, so Watcher 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't let us hold up Devious Cover Up, but does let us hold up Unexplained Disappearance. And I can Disinformation Campaign. So as long as they don't have a counterspell here, this is fine. I'll give them an open-in to cast Chemist's Insight plus possibly their what's it called? They're probably Chemist's Insight in response to Disinformation Campaign. And I get to ditch some lands to the graveyard. Nice. I'll just play this. I assume they go Chemist's Insight in response. They did, discard in a swamp, so now they have 3 cards. We drew a swamp, jeez. Discarding Radical Idea. Oh no, value. Alright, so now we have a threat on board. An actual threat. Veiled Shade will be a threat much later in the game. I do have to run them dry on cards here, though. Just hoping they play Sphinx here. I can Artful Takedown and keep up Devious Cover Up. Yep, here's the Sphinx. So 2 in hand from the opponent. And we're going to start bashing them for 3 in the air now. Alright, how many lands have we drawn? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 4 lands left in the deck. We will not be shuffling any back. Let's just do both. I don't see any reason you wouldn't do both. So tap Wish Coin. Give this -2, -4. They'll get to Surveil, that's fine. But now our Devious Cover-Up is online and quite good. Barrier Bones, left another one on top. I don't care if they hit me back for 2. No, actually they still have an 0-3 blocker. Alright, looking good. Still fighting through 3 cards plus a Radical Idea from the opponent here. They attack with Crab. I am not blocking. They're trying to get me to use mana. I win this race right now. Dowser of Lights can resolve. I'll just Unexplained Disappearance, which lets me use my Disinformation Campaign again. And gives me a 4th relevant card in the graveyard for Devious Cover-Up. Jeez. 3 lands left in the deck. This is looking really good. Like, not only am I going to be shuffling 4 cards back, but I only have 2 lands left in the library now. One is a Dimir Guild Gate. Wow, this is pretty good. I'll just attack. This is going to be a super telegraphed Devious Cover-Up or Sinister Sabotage, but that's fine. Because I'm going to play Informant, get back Disinformation Campaign, but I'm not going to replay Campaign. Also, this can now just block Crab. Oh yeah, we keeping these on top. Actually, I can ditch. Nah, that can stay on top. Alright. Opponent is running out of things to do. They have Dowser, Radical Idea, and 2 unknowns. I have a Counterspell and Disinformation Campaign. This card is absurd. If you watch my Arena video that I posted, yeah, that seems about right. You watch me get wrecked by Disinformation Campaign and Night Veil Sprite. Just sick. Alright, we took out the Dimirror. Let's see how we do in round 2. See you there. Alright, we're back for round 2 against my body is ready to lose to Boros. I'm on the play. I don't think I'd keep this. Unexplained Disappearance does help me find more action, but this hand does nothing. Alright, this is better. As creature to cast, interaction of some sort, and then some spells to work towards. Artful Takedown can definitely help if we fall behind. Opponent also went down to 6, which is cool. I'll keep any land on top here. House Guild Mage? I think I'm going to put that on the bottom. That's a mana-intensive card, and I don't have time to be doing that right now. Sure. Thought of Night going to come down on turn 2. Thought Erasure will follow that up if I don't draw anything else to cast. Land Dimir Informant is like what I'm looking for here. Not my 5-drop, that's for sure. I almost have 6 there. Against another blue deck? Against Dimir, I feel pretty good. Against Is It, less so. League Guild Mage, card's very good. Land. Hate you. Alright, the Surveil is going to have to be good. Alright, we have an Ionize, an Arclight Phoenix. Oh my god. Maximize Altitude, I could care less about. This comes back if my opponent discards it. Ionize, they get to just sit behind. Wow, Whisper Agent plus Ionize is nice. I think I'm supposed to just take Whisper Agent. I don't have a lot of ways to fight what my opponent's doing here. Ionize is going to get my first spell, but that's just going to have to happen. And that can stay on top. So I'm not doing anything next turn, and I very likely won't be able to do anything the turn after. Plus I got to fight through an Ionize. Youch. My opponent's hand is good. Maximize Altitude's not great, but that's probably here because the Arclight Phoenix. Ooh, and they drew a 3-drop. Are you kidding me? My opponent just drew that off the top. Wow. Okay. Oh, Artful Takedown is good at dealing with these things. They draw a land off the top. They get to play Arclight Phoenix. That's it. Artful Takedown, yeah. If not, they get to just kind of sit behind Ionize. They might be debating whether to cast Maximize Altitude here. Alright, Thoughtbound Phantasm. They want to Ionize that. I'm okay with it. This is not a winning proposition at this point. What I need them to do is draw their land, play their Phoenix, and then Artful Takedown while they're tapped out and don't have Ionize open, but League Guild Mage makes that difficult. Gross. Oh, I don't feel good about how this is going. Not at all. If I had a Sinister Sabotage, this would be fine, but we're going to get hit by this Phoenix now. It does give me an opening to draw something. I can also just sit here and draw cards with the Guild Mage. Yeah, my opponent's respecting Sinister Sabotage as a card. I'm going to try and bait out that Ionize now. They'd probably just let that resolve, to be honest. Good. Okay, that's good, because these takedowns can get me back in this game. And I would rather them do that, counter a card that doesn't even have an impact on the board, than to just play or draw a card with this Guild Mage. Here comes Phoenix, yep. Alright. Well, hopefully this helps me find my 4th land. Just gotta get hit until then. That's a decent card to put in the graveyard. Yeah, that becomes a 3/3/2. So next turn we can start casting Artful Takedowns, and we're going to have to hope that that's good enough to get us in this game. Maximize Altitude and deal a lot of damage to us out of nowhere. My opponent can even copy it with the Guild Mage pretty cheaply. So 3, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 damage just staring at us right now. And they chose not to do that. Oh, they have a counterspell. Ooh, if they have a counterspell. Like, if they just pass and don't do anything here, really. Direct Current, the 2/1. Okay, that's still not impacting the board, so I think that's fine. Do I Artful Takedown now? No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to give them the opportunity to go Maximize Altitude here. If they just go to combat, I'll cast Artful Takedown. If they have a spell to copy, then sure. Or if they have another counter spell, then sure. Okay, so begin in combat. Let's go tap this. Oh, they counterspell, they can go ahead and attack with Piston Fist, but I will trade Thoughtbound at that point. Let's tap that, give this -2, -4. Killing Arclight Phoenix doesn't seem great here. They have at least 1-2 spells. They can get it back pretty easy, I think. And they're going to draw a card. Neat. So, yeah, I was going to say, if I draw a land, what do I do here? Because they might go maximize altitude. If they get the Phoenix back, I think I'm supposed to just play Watcher in the Mist. Because I can Devious cover up this, and then they can't recast it a second time. But I think I need something to potentially defend myself that grows Thoughtbound Phantasm into a 4/4. Darkblade Agent can go to Graveyard. I'll just keep lands on top for now. We'll see what their next turn looks like here. Could just die. They have a direct current in the graveyard that's worth noting too. So yeah, they can get Arcbound Phoenix back. Maximize altitude twice plus direct current is enough to do it on its own. Looks like they're going to go for it. No, just attacking. I'll take the 5. I see the opponent's plan here. Probably has something to do with like Sonic Assault or kill us, but we in trouble. We in trouble. Electromancer sets up their next turn pretty nice. Alright, play the Swamp and just pass the turn. We'll see if they Sonic Assault on end step. That's what I'm kind of feeling here, but maybe not. No. And this just comes back to the battlefield. If you've cast 3 or more instant or sorceries this turn, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield at the beginning of combat. Okay. Opponent still has 4 cards in hand. This is not a winning proposition for us. Okay, here comes Maximize Altitude. Sure. Beginning of combat. Alright, let's see if they have a counter spell. Let's tap this. -2, -4 that. Alright, they're going to draw a card. Neat. They can't copy my spells with this. Alright, so that kills that thing. They also used one of their spells that turn. And we get to hold up Devious Cover up here. So I'm attacking with this flyer now, I think. Although they bring back the stupid Phoenix, that's 1. They would need 2 spells they can cast off of potentially 4 mana. Okay. That's... I don't know why they're doing that, though. I guess they want to surveil, but wouldn't that be better for them to cast during their turn so they can bring this Phoenix back? I think they can afford to go to 15 here. Yeah, they should definitely keep that in hand. That direct current plus another spell. Maybe they forgot about their Phoenix. In even this plus League Guildmage copy in it for 2 mana lets you surveil an extra 2 times. They did keep everything on top. Devious cover-ups help a lot. We get to shuffle 2 Artful Takedowns back. And probably Thought Erasure. I don't even know what else. Maybe just nothing else because we don't really want to draw those cards. Sonic Assault. Let's see if they copy. If I counter that, they can copy it with Guildmage, but I exile the original copy. And they just get in 2 damage this turn. Well, 4 technically. And it almost taps them out, so I think that's fine. 1, 2. 3. I guess Darkblade Agent's not bad. Yeah, just those. If they want to use their turn to copy Sonic Assault and get 4 damage, I think that's fine. I just want to exile the original copy of Sonic Assault so they can't jumpstart that and do this again next turn. It would cost them 4 mana to copy it. Between that and Direct Current, I could be in a lot of trouble. Because I might be going down to 3 this turn. Yeah, so opponent's got to decide whether to copy or not. They are. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Oh, I guess they don't get the extra 2. They can't attack because they had to tap one of their creatures down. So I'm going down to 5. And that used their whole turn, too. Plus the original copy's gone, so they can't jumpstart Sonic Assault. Yeah, and we get to shuffle 2 Artful Takedowns and a Thought Erasure back. Plus we have another Devious Cover-Up. So I don't think this game's over by any means. Playing out all my lands for sure. We'll just attack for 3 here. Opponent was smart there to play the Jumpstart spell and then just pass priority instead of copying it right away, because if I do have a counter spell, I get to counter the copy and the original spell. But that pass priority allowed me to do something and then responded to my spell, which was probably the smart thing to do. Still need a couple things to go right this game. They have Direct Current plus Guild Mage, which is 4 damage on its own. Radical Idea is fine. 1 mana Radical Idea is pretty good, not gonna lie. City Watch thinks, well, I have to counter that and just leave myself open to Direct Current. Or I'll shuffle the Devious Cover-Up back. Maybe I want Veiled Shade here. No, I would just rather draw spells that interact with their creatures. Yeah. Draw another Devious Cover-Up? That'd be amazing. Yes. Ooh, nice. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to tap plus kill this now. They still have 2 cards in hand. That lets me get in for 3 again. That's gonna happen regardless. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this now so they can't, like, copy Direct Current or some other burn spell on me. So, tap, -2, -4. Still not feeling great about this. I'm at a virtual 3, and they have an Arclight Phoenix. And they have... Oh, they're going to Radical Idea. They have 2 spells just in their graveyard. Like, this turn, if they can cast Direct Current plus another spell from their hand, they get to kill me with Arclight Phoenix. So maybe I shouldn't have attacked with Watcher there for that reason. They just need 1 spell in their hand that costs 5 or less because of Electromancer. They get to put Phoenix back, dome me for 2 with Direct Current, attack straight through me. No, they're going to combat, though. Ooh, Sinister Sabotage, great draw. I think my opponent forgot about their Phoenix. Sinister Sabotage turns on Thoughtbound Phantasm, too, as a 5/5 attacker. This is a close game. Yeah, they could have killed me last turn. They could have, I think they forgot about Phoenix. They cast Radical Idea for 1. They could have cast this on basically anything, and then they could have discarded anything to Direct Current me for 2. And, attack me with Phoenix. So my opponent missed lethal. I honestly think, well, they can't have forgotten about the Phoenix, because they've got their Jumpstart spells. Like, they have to scroll over it. Maybe they just don't know it does that. Oh, this does not matter at all. So that is perfectly okay in my book. Alright, don't care much for the swamp. I think I'm going to play it, though. Draw a creature that doesn't matter. I can get Crow Swarm back. Maybe that was a reason to, like, shuffle one of these creatures back in. Capture Sphere this. That's my only protection. Sure. I'll counter that. Counterworthy. Mainly because it gets this going, too. Toss a Guildgate to the graveyard. I would love to draw a Devious Cover-Up here. If I attack with both of these, they have to block one of them. Artful Takedown? Island, jeez. Alright, I think I'm going to attack with both my guys. It's risky, but if it means they have to throw away a creature here, didn't seem like they had a hard removal spell or anything like that. They just take 9? No, they have a bounce spell. Oh, this is only 8. Uh-oh, that could have been bad. I miscounted how much damage I had. Alright, well, we just lost. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Why did I think I had 9 damage on board? Yeah, they just attack with... I guess we're not just dead unless they have something else here, because this can block here, this can't actually attack, so we take 2 and Direct Current nugs us down to 1. So we're not just dead, but I did miscalculate. I would not have attacked with Thoughtbound Phantasm there. But considering my opponent's already missed lethal this turn, or this game, I think that's fine. We both making mistakes here. Alright, let's see if they have an answer to this fire. Okay, nice. I can't believe we won that. We probably shouldn't have. My opponent messed up with their Phoenix. Dazzling Lights. They've got a bunch of 2/2s. Indrik looks really good here, but I don't think I can bring that in. Mephitic Vapors. No, that doesn't do anything. Barrier Bone does block the 2/2s. Direct Current is something to keep in mind. It does kill a reasonable number of our creatures. Nearly all of them, to be honest. So maybe I want, like, Muse Drake over one of the X2s for that reason. Muse Drake doesn't block the Phoenix very well. But the 2-power creatures can still attack through my opponent's two power creatures, right? Their Goblin Electromancer, their League Guild Mage can offer trades. Darkblight Agent actually seems really good here. I'm going to be on the draw, most likely. Dazzling Lights looks pretty bad against an opponent who's not trying to kill us through pure damage. I think I'm just going to keep my deck as is. I don't think I want to dilute it with this Muse Drake. That card's not super impactful, and I've already said it twice, but I'll say it again. Pure card advantage just not necessary. I'm going to keep this hand. It just needs to draw a third land to be good. Dimir Informant. My opponent can be a fast deck, I think. Yeah, Guildgate was great. So now I get to go 2-drop, 3-drop. Might not even play the Dimir Informant now, since I can go Agent into Informant. Electromancer. Oh, Fire Urchin. Alright, this is a fine card, but it's not something I'm super scared of. If they direct current me, then that's okay. Yeah, my opponent's more aggro is it than the control is it. Playing Fire Urchins. Either deck would play Piston Fist. Whenever it attacks targeted creature an opponent controls gets -2. So I think I would have attacked if I was my opponent there because I know they have double Dazzling Lights. I'm not blocking that. But they might not have considered it. This hand's shaping up nicely. We do have 2 counter spells to complement what we're already doing, and House Guildmage is pretty good in the late game. I guess House Guildmage is just good with Darkblight Agent. If they attack, I'll block this, but I probably won't block Fire Urchin. I feel fine about my position. I might take a little bit of damage early on. No attack at all, huh? Let's see, if I attack with this and they just go block, block, then I'm basically trading for Mesmerist. Otherwise, I get to hold up some counter spells or play Dimir Informant. Can even surveil at instant speed. I don't think I'm okay trading this for this, so I'm just going to play Dimir Informant, I think. They could have Ionize. Do I care if they Ionize Informant? Not really. Or I could just surveil on end step. Hold up some counter spells. This would actually trade for both creatures, though, right? Let's see. If I surveil and they -3, -0, that's fine. Right now, they've got to have something, so I'm going to do this and just set up the trade for that thing, which I don't love. Hoping that they use a spell, but they're not going to. Alright. That wasn't a great trade for me, but it's fine. Now we'll play Dimir Informant. I'm fine putting in front of the Urchin. If they want to use a bunch of spells to kill my Informant, that's okay. Digging for like an Artful Takedown. Not really lands at this point. Lands can go to the graveyard. Kraus Swarm looks good against my opponent. Not great, but they do have direct current. May I surveil? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have attacked at all there. Ooh, I like both of these. I would rather draw Thought Erasure next turn, so I'm going to keep that on top. I should not have attacked with that Darkblade Agent. That was bad. My opponent's happy to trade a 2/1 for it, and they can go Dazzling Lights there into my mana if they have Dazzling Lights. I assume they're not attacking back. If they do, I don't really care. I'll happily Thought Erasure them here and see what's going on. Let me see what you got there. Plus, if I just waited a turn, I would have had Thought Erasure Darkblade Agent. Could attack with Death Touch pre-combat. They're going to counter my Thought Erasure. Oh, they're going to Command the Storm, the House Guildmage. How much do I like this House Guildmage? Enough that I Sinister Sabotage? Yeah, I think so. This can just surveil 2 later in the game. I'm not casting anything else this turn, so I think that's fine. Still keep that on top. This thing will become a 2/3 for the turn, so I can't attack. And I get to eat another card out of their hand. There's a lot of stack going on there. Disdainful Stroke and 2 lands. Okay. Sure. That makes me want this less now. Yeah. They don't have a creature, so I don't need to bounce anything. They're on just Island Mountain. Alright, I think we can win from this position. We slam Kraus Swarm, hope they don't draw something within the next 2 turns, protect it with Devious Cover-Up. They drew something. Oh, League Guildmage is great. House Guildmage can keep that locked down, or I could just Artful Takedown. Yeah, I don't want them coming back from this game because they have a repeated draw engine, so we'll go tap. No. We'll go tap -2, -4, and attack for 3 this turn. House Guildmage or League Guildmage is a good way for them to get back in this game. If they hit like Radical Idea and copy it, that's good for them. All right, they drew a blank, so we will go ahead and cast our Kraus Swarm. Pass the turn. Next turn we can start surveilling, plus hold up Devious Cover-Up, or just, I guess we need a land to do that. Surveil at 3 mana. They're probably correctly keeping the Mountain in hand for their Jumpstart cards. Alright, they do have a Direct Current. They can kill Kraus Swarm, but not House Guildmage this turn. What did they discard? Oh, yeah, they don't have to discard yet. Alright, now I'll play the island so I can surveil and keep up Devious Cover Up. If they try to Direct Current my House Guild Mage, I'll probably Devious Cover Up the Direct Current. They only have 2 red sources, so that's kind of where they're at. They choose not to. All lands to the graveyard. What is this? Hypothesizal. We'll counter that. Yeah, that doesn't target. Does draw my opponent extra cards, though. Let's get back Sinister Sabotage. Thought Erasure? Nah. Artful Takedown. Crow Swarm. Come on. Yeah, I'll get back Darkblade Agent here. I'll just get back all 4 cards. And then we get to surveil after shuffling those back. Thoughtbound Phantasm plus Darkblade Agent. These both seem really good. My opponent only has 1 direct current, so I'm going to get the Phantasm first to get that going, and then get the Agent. My opponent's going to have to kill this House Guildmage, I think. Oh, I guess they're going to kill the House Guildmage if I show them these. I don't want this Phantasm. Because if I draw that, it's going to end up being a dead draw. After they kill House Guildmage, it'll just be kind of a waste of a draw. I get to surveil 1 more time here, but I assume my opponent got to kill House Guildmage now that I drew Darkblade Agent, so I assume they're going to direct current this Guildmage this turn. That would be my guess. I don't think they can sit here and let me surveil every turn when I'm drawing Darkblade Agent. And assuming my opponent's going to do that, I don't want to draw this Phantasm. Yep. Alright, we'll surveil in response. And at this point, we'll keep basically anything that has surveil on top because Darkblade Agent's going to draw us more. Ooh, Disinformation Campaign. I don't want Child of Night, but I do want Disinformation Campaign. At the very worst, it just cycles us into another card, and my opponent discarding cards is bad for them when they have so many Jumpstart cards. Then we can start attacking, if only for 1 next turn. Huh. Pitch a card, pitch a card. Sonic Assault. Oh, that's another Jumpstart card. Ooh. I can bounce this. Nah, no reason to do that. If I could replay Disinformation Campaign this turn, I would definitely just Unexplained Disappearance that thing. Kind of want to now, but nah. I'll save it for something that matters. These cards do not particularly matter. Capture Sphere. Alright, I'll let that resolve, and then I'll just bounce Darkblade Agent back to my hand. My opponent's empty-handed. Yeah. I get the Disinformation Campaign. Ooh, Deadweight on top. Well, this is going well. I'm going Deadweight Electromancer, and then it's Disinfo, Darkblade, and Dimir Informant versus Fire Urchin. And I guess they have a Sonic Assault. Alright, opponent, first blood on me. Alright, so we're going to draw... Oh, we only have... I guess I can wait on Disinformation Campaign. I'd rather kill this. Yeah, they're forced to play out all their cards too, so... This is looking good. As long as they don't draw like some huge flyer off the top, I think I'm fine. Something like a Piston Fist Cyclops would be annoying. Can probably outdraw them with this campaign. If I draw another Devious Cover-Up, get to shuffle a bunch of crap back. Yeah, so they kept a card in hand. They're probably going to pitch it to Sonic Assault, or it's an instant or counter or something. Ionize would be good. Ooh, did they draw Ionize, or they just flashing back Sonic Assault? Yep. They drew a Mountain. I still get to draw my card. Alright, I'll play that out and just pass the turn here. Opponent is out of tricks, but kinda I am too at this point. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll Dazzling Lights this if they block here, because it'll gain Death Touch, get their creature off board, and I'll get to rebuy my campaign and surveil. Oh yeah, get out of here. I get the last card out of their hand too if it's nothing super relevant. I think if it was an Ionize, they probably would have done that on the Dazzling Lights. Maybe not. Eat your last card. Mountain. Should just played that. So we have 5 lands left in our library, which means if we draw Devious Cover-Up, we're pretty set. Nice. Alright. Boom. I guess I should not auto-yield there. They could flash in a Whispering Agent. I probably want to Artful Takedown that before combat. My opponent's not drawing a lot either. Dowser's good. Normally I'd keep that land in hand, but I don't have any jumpstart spells in my library, so I don't really need to sandbag them. And there are turns where I'm going to want a lot of mana, so I can play this, cast a Surveil card, replay it, stuff like that. Looks like my opponent's thinking on possibly another Sonic Assault or something like that. Ah, this is grindy. Just how I like it. These are my favorite decks in the format. I've heard a lot of people say that Boros is the best deck in the format, and I can't confirm that because I haven't actually played Boros once in like 10 to 15 drafts, which is a shame. I'd like to try it, but I think I value the Dimir and Izzet decks just way too highly, and even Selesnya is so open most of the time that you can get a good Selesnya deck. We are waiting on the opponent here. It's not like this game is just over, but most of my draws are great, and Dowser adds more power to the board. My opponent hasn't shown us a lot of impactful creatures. I think it was the last opponent who had the City Watch Sphinx. I don't think it was this opponent. We have an answer for something like that. Plus Dowser. If we get in 3 this turn, they're dead next turn to our creatures, plus Artful Takedown. Can you imagine if this was like a Boros card, like deal 4 and tap another creature? It would just be absurd. But yeah, I value this card extremely highly. Like, there was a 4th one in the draft that I could have taken, and I'm not even sure I wouldn't have. Alright, opponent has disconnected. Alright, so after a moment there, my opponent returned. Maybe an unintentional disconnect. So we were attacking, putting our opponent down to lethal range, and slamming a Dowser of Lights. Dowser has been good in this format. I think 5 is the magical toughness. A lot of times people talk about the magical toughness number from a set, like what it dodges most, and I think 5 is where you want to be for a solid creature if it's not providing much else, because Dowser of Lights dodges Artful Takedown, it dodges Hypothesizal, it dodges Lava Coil, like all these things that deal 4 but can't deal with a 5 toughness creature. And I think that's what makes Dowser better than some of the other X4s in the format and things like that. We got that match. We had it pretty locked down after playing a pretty grindy game, but again, seeing the power of Disinformation Campaign, and even though I think I misplayed with my Darkblade Agent early on, I should not have offered that trade for like a Mesmerist. My opponent has a deck that I think is pretty weak to Disinformation Campaign, since they're often sandbagging cards for their Jumpstart spells, and it didn't look like they hit many of their payoffs there. So Izzet decks look like that pretty often. You only have a handful of win conditions, similar to us. We only have a few cards that actually end the game, but you have to play the control game. So I'm assuming we're playing against Boros in the finals. See you in round 3. Be right there. All right, here we are against Caribou in the finals, trying to get that first trophy for Guilds. Good hand. House Guild Mage on turn 2, Disinfo on turn 3, Thought Erasure on turn 4. I assume my opponent's going to go... This is how it's going to go. They're going to go Plains, Healer's Hawk, turn 2, Lava Coil, your Guild Mage. No, I want a Guild Mage out. Against another blue deck. Uh-oh. We're against a top-tier blue deck? Whoa, that was a great draw. Almost makes me want to Thought Erasure next turn, but I would like to have this Disinformation campaign down before I Thought Erasure. Especially if my opponent's playing Dimirror Is It. Again, Disinformation campaign, picking apart a control deck's hand is great. Yeah, I'm just going to get House Guildmage down this turn. Still not clear whether our opponent is playing Is It or if they're playing Dimir, but at the very least, we know that they're not going to kill one of our creatures this turn. They could now. So Dimir again. Played against Dimir. Is it Dimir? Hired Poisoner, not exactly a card I care too much about. We get the Disinformation campaign rolling here. Plus we have House Guildmage to surveil later on if my opponent can't kill our creatures. Seems like they have a black heavy hand. Deadweight takes care of that as well. They discarded Severed Strands. Yeah, I'm not offering that trade. We're going to try and 2-for-1 our opponent out of this game. I'd still even want to play Darkblade Agent before Thought Erasure. Next turn, I can go Darkblade Agent plus Deadweight. Vicious Rumors? Are you kidding me? Sure. I will discard Island. This card's so bad. My opponent's probably on a similar deck to ours. What? What? I don't even really want to deadweight that, to be honest. Kind of want to see what's going on in their hand now that they did that. They attacked, opened themselves up for 2. Ritual of Soot is the card that's come to mind, but they missed a land drop. So I think I'm going to go Deadweight plus Darkblade Agent, attack for 2. I'll save the Thought Erasure for next turn. My opponent's playing Vicious Rumors, so... But they're in the finals, I gotta give them some credit. Maybe I go Thought Erasure plus Deadweight, just to make sure I'm playing around Ritual of Soot. Doesn't use my mana as wisely, but Disinformation Campaign will outdraw this deck. Ooh, Muse Drake, Artful Takedown, Lotleth Giant. I'm going to take one of their Artful Takedowns. Don't want them killing too many of our creatures. Dimir Informant, at the very least, that gets us another Disinfo trigger. So, yeah, that can just stay on top. And then, I don't even care much about Deadweight in this, but I'm going to. Alright, see if they draw their 4th land here. They did, so probably passing. And we will go ahead and go to attacks. I assume they kill House Guildmage and tap Thoughtbound Phantasm. Could do it the other way around. If they're worried about me actually getting this out of range. Because House Guildmage can't attack through Muse Drake. Yeah, so they do decide to kill the Phantasm, which I like. I like having access to this Surveil over time. But now I'm going to get this Lotleth Giant out of their hand too. When you're not under pressure, it's fine to just sit here and replay Information Campaign over and over again. Yep, here comes Muse Drake. So we know nothing about their hand. I like Darkblade Agent here or Dimir Informant. I would like to find more lands, so I'm going to go Informant, I think. This lets me get Campaign, and if I hit a 5th land, I can go Spybug Campaign. I'm not worried about their creatures because I have Takedown, Crow Swarm. I will keep Devious Cover Up on top, even though it's not great here. I'm going to have Super Telegraphed Counterspell, but that's fine. If they don't play anything at all, I might just play Disinformation Campaign again. Another Muse Drake. Sure. And a Guildgate. I do want to hit lands. I'm going to campaign. Dowser. Alright, well, we've only hit 4th land, or 4 lands. Did we surveil 2 lands to the graveyard? No, they Vicious Rumors us. Oh, Azav, nice. So that's going to surveil 1, and then they can turn it into a Hired Poisoner. Currently, that's it. Let's see what they surveil first. They kept on top. Probably start attacking with at least one Muse Drake, I assume. Alright, we have a very mana-intensive hand. But I think we're just going to pass. Start using some artful takedowns here. If we have to use Devious Cover-Up, we will. Probably shuffle some lands back into my library. Undercity Necrolisk. This can sack a creature, put a counter. I'm fine with that. I'll just use an Artful Takedown on it. I should probably use Artful Takedown first here. Oh well, I'll take the 1 extra damage. Yeah, I kind of messed up there. Let's go tap -2, -4 this thing. You just attack me with the other Muse Drake. Not too big of a deal. Would like to just draw a billion lands here. Alright. Well, it's not quite a billion, but it gets the job done. Could go Darkblade Agent Dimir Spybug, or I could play a 4/1, which threatens to block these things. I could keep Lazav tapped down and play Darkblade Agent. I don't like that as much. I think I like just getting the 2 creatures on board. And, yeah, I'm going to attack for 1, I think. No, I won't, because they can turn this into a Necrolisk. They have to sack a creature to get through Dimir Informant, so I'm fine just holding back that 1 damage here. If they attack with this, I have to be a little bit wary about what it can turn into. Nice combos, great deck. Give him the thanks. Give him the old thanks. We do have a solid Dimir deck. We got a lot of the payoffs, despite having a pretty bad pack 1 or whatever. You remember when we first picked Camaraderie? Wall of Mist. There's a card I don't care my opponent has. In fact, it's really bad against Darkblade Agent. Lands? Cool. Let's see. Lots of options now. This starts growing. They have no cards in hand, so I'm not super keen on the campaign. I think end of turn they're probably going to Lazav to turn into a Necrolisk, and I will Artful Takedown in response. Go -2, -4, and just tap a Muse Drake. If I attack with Darkblade Agent, they can't really block it profitably because I can Surveil. I'm going to wait a turn here until my opponent untaps. Or I assume they're going to try and turn this into a Necrolisk on end step, but I'm not 100% sure about that. If they don't, then I'll just hold up my spells until their turn. I'll hold up Devious Cover-Up, and end of turn, if they don't do anything, then I'll use Artful Takedown. They drew a Capture Sphere for this thing. Sure, I will counter this. Shuffle back. 1, 2. Deadweight seems bad, but I like... No, Thought Erasure isn't great. At the very least, it surveils if they hold up a spell. And, Phantasm. Just want a high density of spells in my deck. Thought Erasure would be the worst to draw, but at the very least, it surveils. So now if I draw a land, I can hold up the Surveil off House Guildmage plus Artful Takedown. That way I can attack with the Darkblade Agent, and they either throw away 2 creatures, because it'll have Death Touch, or let me draw a card. That's also pretty good. That gets my Spybug up to a 2/2. Surveils and lets me attack with Darkblade Agent. Lazav can turn into Hired Poisoner right now. So maybe I want to wait. I don't really just want to trade these. Oh, and I get Disinformation Campaign back? Yeah, maybe I'm fine just trading these off before they can hit something really good off Lazav. Yeah, I'll attack with Darkblade Agent this turn. I forgot this can just turn into a Death Toucher here. I don't know why my opponent's playing Vicious Rumors, though. That card's bad. And we're waiting again. I wonder if my opponent's sending me a message or something. Feels like they're typing since there's nothing they can do here. I really would have liked to try this deck against Boros and just see if it can hold its own against the aggro decks, but we'll just play against 3 control decks in a row. Which I'm fine with. I think my deck is very well positioned against other control decks. We have 3 counter spells plus Disinfo. And man, is this card just obnoxious against control decks. Have we had this on turn 3 like every match? At least once? I think so. Might have to pause the video again, though. How are you guys doing? Now would be a great time to tell you that I have a Twitter page at MTG_Mana-Rocks. Oh, yeah, we keeping these on top. I want the Thoughtbound Phantasm first. Bounce that. Grow my Spybug. Grow my bug. Grow. And yeah, I'll offer the trade Darkblade Agent for Lazav here before they potentially draw into something that's way better than a Necrolisk here. Yep. Turn it into a Hired Poisoner. This is where on Magic Arena I would click my little emote and say, nice. But it's too much work to just type it. Alright, Informant's good for them. Not that great. It just sets up their next couple draws. But now I've got a army in the air a little bit. I'm drawing Phantasm first next turn. Maybe I should have waited and drawn the whatchamacallit, but I can Surveil with this. That lets me attack with Spybug. They have nothing in hand, and they kept both cards on top. So we're probably going to go Surveil, Thoughtbound Phantasm, and Surveil for 3. Maybe it's better to just play like Dowser of Lights or something. Dowser's not even good against Wall of Mist. Alright, attack with these 2. If they double block Spybug, I get to Surveil with the Guild Mage. So I assume they're not going to block at all. I'm going to do this anyway. Actually, maybe I don't need to if they didn't block. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I could just play another 5-drop, play Crow Swarm or something. Dowser gets just straight up chumped by that, so yeah, I'll play Crow Swarm. If they kill that, I might even discard Dowser to get it back. Shoot through these Muse Drakes. For what it's worth, I think Wall of Mist is a horrendously bad card in this format. The Dimir decks win through card advantage. Yeah, alright, cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, the Boros decks have Mentor and ways to just push through blockers that don't punish you for attacking. And all the other decks win with, like, flyers. So, card's pretty bad. Bartisan Bats trades for Muse Drakes. I don't like that, actually. Mephitic Vapors against 1/1s. They only showed us the Death Touch guy. Muse Drake of my own would be okay, I suppose. Veiled Shade looks okay. Child of Night seems pretty bad, though. Yeah. Alright, I like that. Dazzling Lights is good against the Death Touchers, but I'm above playing multiple Dazzling Lights, and I don't think there's anything else here that I care too much about, so let's see if we get Vicious Rumors out, but if that first match was any indication, I feel fine about our matchup against, like, mid-rangey blue-black creatures. Muse Drakes and Death Touchers and Necrolisks and stuff like that. We've got enough ways to deal with them that I feel fine about it. So, let's see if we can get our first trophy here. And if not, we get one more crack at it, right? Really wish I'd had a couple Golgari Guildgates, because Affectionate Indrik would be a nice little top-end creature here. Adds power to the board, takes out a smaller creature, lets your other creatures get in. But I think our deck's solid. Came out of the draft feeling like it wasn't that great, but it seems synergistic. We do have a lot of the payoff cards for being Dimir, between the Spybug, the Phantasm, the Disinfo campaign. This hand specifically needs a Swamp to be great, but I think I'm going to keep. Alright, well, now it's great. We could go Guildmage, Disinformation campaign again. Same start as last time. Against a bunch of Dimir Guildgates. I don't mind just drawing a bunch of lands at the beginning here either, because I have 4s and 5 drops in my hand. But we'll see what the opponent does first. Informant. Okay. I don't mind playing against Informant right now. I'm not trying to win on the ground necessarily. I'm trying to win a very long game. They kept both on top. So we're just going to slam campaign here. Eat at their hand a little bit while I can. Campaign is at its best in these type of mirror matches, for sure. And we'll just pass after that. Alright, Dimir Guildgate, awkward-ish, but not bad. Necrolisk to the graveyard. Alright, 4-drop to the graveyard, so maybe they got something better to play on turn 4. If it's something that needs to be taken care of with Artful Takedown, I'll play it. Capture Sphere House Guildmage? Wow, they really don't want me going off there, do they? So I'm going to go Guildgate plus Darkblade Agent. And that sets me up next turn to go Watcher in the Mist, attack with Darkblade Agent, get back Disinformation campaign, and have a 3/4 flyer on board. The alternative there is just to hold Artful Takedown, which doesn't look like we need to use right away anyway. I'm not going to -2/-4 Dimir Informant. That and Darkblade Agent attacks through it very nicely. My opponent really did not want me going off with campaign here. I wouldn't have done that. I think one of the problems that people have when they play Disinformation campaign, and I've seen this a lot, is that they'll do everything they possibly can to just campaign as many times as possible. This does change my play. My opponent did nothing, and now I drew Thought Erasure, which means I can go Erasure plus Disinformation campaign and see what they have going on. I think I'm going to do that and try to take like a pivotal removal spell or something out of their hand. Plus, if they want to just counter this, that's fine. Capture Sphere this. Okay. Well, now I get to eat 2 cards out of their hand, plus we got the Capture Sphere, and that makes our Watcher a little bit better. Unmoored Ego. What's the worst they can take with that? If they take... They probably just discarded the Disinformation campaign at this point. If they cast that, it's not that bad. What are they going to take? I guess if they take Artful Takedown, that's fine. Probably just going to take like Lazav here. And then I assume they discard Unmoored Ego to the campaign. That can go to the graveyard. This bounces back. Our bounce spells look pretty good here too. I would be extremely surprised if they kept Unmoored Ego in their hand. They want the Muse Drake too, yeah. Alright, so they brought in some sideboard tech against us. But we drew the card before they had a chance to play the Ego? I'm assuming that's what happened. I am under the 1/1 beats here. Oh, we're going to play Watcher. Get back our Disinfo campaign. So we know nothing about their hand now, right? Right. Alright. Watcher coming down. Cloud Reader Sphinx, trigger. Spybug, Artful Takedown. I kind of like both of these. Spybug's not actually great. And I'm going to ditch Spybug and keep Artful Takedown, because these takedowns do kill both their creatures. Yeah, I don't want to draw into that Spybug, to be honest. Not having a way in my hand to surveil, it's not great. Opponent's stuck on 4 lands, too. But they have 3 fresh unknown cards in their hand that we don't know about. Capture Sphere number 4. Number 3. It's just a Pokeball, isn't it? What was that? Artful Takedown off the top. Alright. I see you. Let's get that last card out of their hand, and then we can use an Artful Takedown of our own. Oh, I'm sorry. They have 2 cards in hand. What am I talking about? If I play a creature, I might... Ooh, that's good. I don't need to Artful Takedown these. What do I do here? I go Unexplained Disappearance, back the House Guild Mage, or the Darkblade Agent. 1, 2. Next turn I can go bounce this, play Disinformation Campaign, and replay this creature, so maybe it's better to use a takedown this turn. Takedown? I don't need to take down these creatures, right? But I can't... I could replay House Guild Mage. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce this. I'll keep that on top. And then replay House Guild Mage. Did I tap wrong? Oh, I see. Alright. 2 cards from the opponent. We still have Campaign in our hand, which means that keep an instant in their hand is unlikely. They're not pressuring us very much. We have answers. I'm feeling good about this. Let's go Campaign you. Sure, they discarded Swamp. And we're going to play Dowser here. Now at any point, if they keep cards in their hand, I can surveil with House Guild Mage and then replay Disinformation Campaign. Plus, we still have all 3 counters in our deck and double Artful Takedown. My opponent's got to keep lands in their hand if they want to protect extra spells from Disinformation Campaign, which means they're probably not playing too many other lands this game. They killed my House Guild Mage. You jerk. Alright, so the gig is up. Now we get to start bashing them. And play Corral Swarm here, plus hold up an Artful Takedown. Now we're on the Beats plan. I'm not going to block. End of turn, I will kill this Muse Drake with Artful Takedown. That's kind of annoying, but not really, because I can go tap this, kill Muse Drake here. You're not attacking. You're not attacking. Alright, there we go. So, tap, -2, -4. We are really swinging this game now. If we draw like a Devious Cover-Up, then we get to just shuffle a bunch of crap back into our deck. So we have a removal spell and a counter spell. I think this game's close to over. Assume they don't block this turn. They're actually just dead. Because I can counter anything they put on the board. I can Artful Takedown to keep them with no blockers next turn. I think we got this game. I think we're trophying, boys. I think we're getting it. I think this messed up uncommon is doing the trick. Nope. Get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. That would have changed things a little bit, but not much. And that's game. That's game. All right, we got it. Very nice. That Dimir deck played out great for having a whole pack where we came out with like 6 playables. Exciting. Super exciting. Alright, well, if you learned anything from this video, it's that Disinformation Campaign is absolutely insane in control mirrors, but we didn't get to play against Selesnya or a go-wide deck or a beatdown deck, so it loses a lot of value in those matchups, which is worth keeping in mind. Also, my last round opponent had a really good deck and played Vicious Rumors for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but you get the point. We got to campaign people out of the game, and we won our first Guilds of Ravnica trophy, so thanks for joining me for that. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Any feedback at all about the videos, any feedback on my other videos, I'm starting to do a couple arena drafts that I've been posting, let me know. I want to hear what people think about it, and I want to hear what you think about the draft. So keep in contact. I like talking to you guys. As always, my name's Timothy here with Mana Rocks. Remember, I have a Twitter, MTG_Mana Rocks. I like to communicate with people, so feel free to hit me up. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Taking away our first trophy, and yeah, 6 Guild packs. Thanks for watching. My name's Timothy. See you next time.